Well, welcome back to the broadcast, everyone. I don't really know where to begin today's report other than the fact that something unusual and bizarre is going on regarding the Biden administration, Ukraine, and the New York Times. You see, the New York Times has just published a report basically blaming Ukraine for a missile strike on its own people instead of Russia. Now, of course, my alarm bells are like all going up, asking the question, why are they admitting this now? And why is Biden suddenly sending this secret message, so to speak, to, well, Zelensky through the New York Times? If that is what's going on, obviously that's my opinion. And did Russia just get an open green light? You're going to want to hear this report. But before I do, just a quick break from my sponsor. Well, nothing is more important than our personal health and well-being, and I have finally found something that works, and that is the C60 EVO organic oil. Now, this is part of my daily routine. I take a teaspoon of it each and every single day, and I have gotten so much more energy. I've gotten a lot more mental clarity as well, and not to mention, I can sleep a lot better at night, and that is why thousands of people all over the world have amazing testimonies on this thing and are also sleeping better at night as well. All you got to do is go to c60evo.com/Lisa Haven. And on that site, you can get 15% off sets, 20% off of subscriptions, and 25% off of cases. And you can use the coupon code LisaH to get an additional 10% off. But check out their C60 EVO as you see on the screen here. They've got all kinds of other packages as well for hair, skin, nails, these kinds of things. Check them all out. If you want more information, click that more button or click in the description box below. But please don't forget to check it out. All right, back to the broadcast. By the way, this stuff is absolutely amazing. Make sure you guys check it out. It has done so much for my health personally. But with that, let's dive into what on earth is going on with the New York Times, Joe Biden, and Zelensky there in Ukraine. Take a look, and I'm going to go directly to the source. That is the NewYorkTimes.com. And it's headlined, "Evidence Suggests Ukrainian Missile Caused Market Tragedy." It states this: the September 6th missile strike on Konstantinivka in eastern Ukraine was one of the deadliest in the country in months, killing at least 15 civilians and injuring more than 30 others. The weapon's payload of metal fragments struck a market, piercing windows and walls and wounding some victims beyond recognition. Less than 2 hours later, President Zelensky blamed Russian terrorists for the attack, and many media outlets followed suit. So here we have 15 people that have died, about 30 people who have been injured, and immediately after this attack, President Zelensky of Ukraine comes out and says, Russia did it, Russia, Russia, Russia. Well, the New York Times went in and did a little investigation, so to speak. Take a look at this. I'm going to get into that in just a moment, but it states, the evidence collected and analyzed by the New York Times, including missile fragments, satellite imagery, witness accounts, and social media posts, strongly suggest that the catastrophic strike was the result of an errant Ukrainian air defense missile fired by a bulk launch system. The attack appears to have been a tragic mishap. It goes on. The security footage shows that the missile flew into Konstantinivka from the direction of Ukrainian-held territory, not from behind Russian lines. It goes on. Further evidence reveals that minutes before the strike, the Ukrainian military launched 2 surface-to-air missiles toward the Russian front line from their town 10 miles northwest of Konstantinivka. It concludes the timing of these launches is consistent with the time frame for the missile that struck the market in Konstantinivka around 2:04 p.m. Now, let me state this. It is very unfortunate what happened to those people there in Ukraine. My heart goes out to the families. I never want anyone to suffer. I don't care what country you live in or where you're at. The people are innocent victims a lot of the times, and it's just a tragedy, unfortunate tragedy of war. So very unfortunate thing. But here we have blame immediately being placed on Russia when, according to the New York Times, it was Ukraine who had a mishap of their own missile that could have potentially hit their own people, killing 15 and injuring about 30 some odd others. And there's different numbers on that total number of injured. But bottom line, why is the New York Times suddenly reporting on this? And it really has my thinker going, because you have to wonder, this whole time they have been sticking up for Zelensky and treating the guy like a god and throwing and encouraging all kinds of money in this direction. Suddenly they come out with this report bashing and basically kind of turning against Zelensky. Now, is New York Times coming to the light side? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. They are Democrat progressives through and through. It has nothing to do with that. I just believe that there's more to the story. Maybe Biden wants to send a secret message to Zelensky and give him, a slap on the hand for something. Who knows? Maybe he is upset about, and this is my opinion, maybe Zelensky is part of the whole blackmail against the president. After all, the bank records are about to come out. Our Congress is about to subpoena those bank records that could show, well, some kind of foreign activity by a sitting president, potentially some kind of bribe or quid pro quo. And it's just around the time that Congress is talking about an impeachment of Joe Biden and going after these bank records. And by the way, I've got inside information where the Bidens are literally afraid of these bank records, right? Take a look. And this is on thehill.com. GOP to hold first impeachment hearing next week, and they are going to subpoena these bank records, Hunter Biden's bank records. So is this some kind of slap to Zelensky saying, hey, let's keep those bank records and all that information under wraps. Don't be giving it to anyone otherwise. Who knows? I mean, that's my speculation, right? But either way, we know right now that Zelensky is begging for more money from our Congress, who is finally divided. Here we have Washington Times, Zelensky to ask for more Ukraine aid amid congressional budget battle. Unfortunately, senators are going to meet with him on Thursday. So here, as of tomorrow, today is September 20th. And then on top of that, Congress is divided over this money for Zelensky. And rightly so, we should not be sending all this money over to Ukraine. There's lots of questionable things happening with that money, for starters. And second, we've already sent enough money. We have people hurting in Hawaii that are getting crap for money. But here it is. This is on WTHR.com. Congress divided over aid to Ukraine, which is why he is suddenly coming to visit, because they are not happy. They don't want to throw this money at him. Some in Congress don't. In fact, they're divided to a point where I know McCarthy right now is wanting to say, okay, let's divide Ukraine from the typical spending package so we can, make some kind of deal. And the Democrats, of course, are, no, it's got to be in the main thing or whatever. I say shut the government down. No more giving out these handouts. And the third reason is we can't freaking afford it. We are dying as a country financially, and we absolutely cannot afford it. Meanwhile, we have people suffering in our own country, and the Bidens basically ignoring what's going on in Hawaii, throwing little to no money at them, not to mention what he did in Ohio, but Maui, excuse me. He is ignoring, for the most part, the people in Maui, and also ignored the people in Hawaii. Hopefully I said that right. But here's to give you an idea of how he protects his own people over how he protects and funds Ukraine, right? So let's check out. Let's go to FEMA.gov. Biden-Harris administration provides $3.8 million in assistance for Hawaii residents in wake of the wildfires. Let's compare that, right, to how much he is sending to Ukraine. Opening remarks by Lloyd Austin, right? And if you scroll through that, this is as of September 19th, 2023. It says in total, the United States and Ukraine global partners have committed more than $76 billion in direct security assistance to Ukraine's defense. And our partners, we have sent literally billions to Ukraine, and I believe we're talking about another $24 billion that we want to send to them again, and giving a measly 3.8 to the victims in Hawaii. Not to mention Joe Biden turning his back on what happened there with the train devastation in Ohio. Hey, why would a president do that? Has he got something to hide? Why throw so much more at one and ignore your own freaking citizens? Is Biden being compromised? Has he been blackmailed? Well, I would love answers to those questions. And I would love some real subpoenas to come forward and some real information to come forward. We already have evidence via, I don't know, telephone, phone call, actual business partners, witnesses who have come forward, IRS agents saying that the DOJ has, sideswiped some of the stuff with Hunter Biden. I mean, we've got information and evidence galore. The mainstream media is just full of SHIT when they say there is not. But there is a ton of evidence to convict this guy. Let's go forward with it. Because if he is compromised with Ukraine, maybe that can explain why so much of our money is being sent overseas rather than being sent to people here in the United States of America. With that, please, I can't stress this enough because I say so much more on Restricted Republic. Get to restrictedrepublic.com. Right now, you can get it for less than a cup of coffee. I mean, cup of coffee costs you $7-8 today. For $4 per month for at least the first 2 years, you can get it for $3.99 per month. Use the coupon code Independence. This is a huge way to support us, especially in light of all the advertisements and advertisers that have just gone to the wayside. And on there, I give not only commercial-free content, but exclusive content. We talk about all the things that are not getting enough attention here on YouTube. And if you really want to be unbrainwashed, we're not supported by anyone but you, the people. Get to restrictedrepublic.com. Use that coupon code Independence. Anyhow, I love all of you. Thank you so much for being here on the channel. You guys mean the world to me. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.